Word, your mother, ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy Sniper West coming at you here from WizardSportsPicks.com. I am here with the one and only Wizard himself, and we are here to talk none other than horse racing today. I'm not the biggest horse player, Wiz, and that's okay because I have a guy like you, maybe one of the most successful sports bettors in the history of the business, as my mentor, kind of walking me through this. And we're going to talk about the Wood Memorial today, as well as the Bluegrass, the 2026 Bluegrass Stakes. I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward to playing some horses and making some money this weekend. I do want to say a little housekeeping first before we get started. You can go to the website. If you buy any sports pick from our website for the Saturday games, okay? For Saturday games, you can buy it today, you can buy it tomorrow, but if you buy any Saturday game over at wizardsportspicks.com, you will get a free Aqueduct betting window highlighted by the Wood Memorial, okay? That's a $35 value. You will get that for free. You will actually get that sent to you by the Wizard himself, okay? So it's very simple. You go to wizardsportspicks.com, you buy a pick for Saturday, whether it's today or tomorrow. You buy a game for Saturday, you'll get a betting window highlighted by the Wood Memorial. That is from Aqueduct. It's $35 free. It's $35 value for free, and the Wizard will send that to you. Okay, and go over check out the website anyway. It's a fantastic website, fantastic handicappers over there. We're putting out a lot of content. We're going to be putting out a lot more content very soon for you guys. You asked and you shall receive, right? But Wiz, we are in Indianapolis, not me, but you are in Indianapolis currently. I know you've been hanging out with our boy Joey Tron, who is a handicapper at the website as well. I'm sure you have some stories. I hope you guys didn't get into too much trouble last night. But tell me how Indianapolis is. Tell me, I know you went to some games last night. I think it was the NIT tournament, right, at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. How's your experience in Indianapolis been so far?
It's been great. I mean, it coincides with the opening of Keeneland Racetrack, which is a prestigious meet in Lexington, Kentucky. And so I'm in my hotel room right now getting ready to play horses throughout the day. So that's a big deal, the start of Keeneland. So I've been in Indy since yesterday. I came with my son. It's quite an experience. I've never been to Indy before, and it's a neat city. It's a great city to have a Final Four basketball tournament because the hotels, the actual facility where the Final Four will be played is where it's Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah, Lucas Oil, right.
And that's where the Indy Colts play, the NFL
right.
Colts. And so it seats about 80,000 people. So the Final Four, it'll be packed. It'll be sold out. So these kids are going to be playing in front of 80,000 people, and they're not even used to playing in front of 11,000 people. So I've been to a few Final Fours, and it's really great. It's the tremendous experience. So last night, me, my son, and my good friend and my son's best friend, Luke Hancock, we went to Hinkle Fieldhouse, which is actually, Hinkle is like the oldest basketball arena in the country. You know, I think the movie Hoosiers was filmed at Hinkle. Hinkle Fieldhouse is on the campus of Butler University. And it was named after, I think, Joe Hinkle, who this was amazing. Do you know that he coached the baseball team, the basketball team, and I think the hockey team all in the same season for 20-something years? Like, I know he could not have done it if NIL existed back then. You could be sure he couldn't have grinded through 3 sports all year round. But his monument, his actual statue is right in front of Hinkle. And we went there to see the NIT the semifinal. The first game was Tulsa facing
New Mexico.
New Mexico. And then the second game was Auburn against Illinois State. So it was probably about 3/4 packed. Hinkle seats about 10, 11,000 people. There was a good crowd there. Obviously a mixture of all four teams. And the Tulsa game against New Mexico was really great. It was a back and forth game. The difference was, in the end, was the point guard for Tulsa, who was really terrific that game. He really was the floor general. New Mexico couldn't shoot their threes. They really didn't have, they're a 3-point shooting team. Tulsa defended it very well. Tulsa was the underdog by about 3.5 points. And they will play Auburn on Sunday for the championship. So the Auburn-Illinois State game, Auburn obviously coached by Bruce Pearl's son. And Auburn was 8-point favorites. And from maybe 10 minutes into the game, after that, it was game, set, match over. They just outclassed them. It looked like Auburn was just making a statement that, you didn't put us into the NCAA tournament. We are now in the NIT and we're going to kick some butt and win it and win it all. And I think they will. I think they're just too deep. They're just, Tulsa, they weren't even the best team in their conference this year. And, but they are a good team. We actually, Luke Hancock, who played for George Mason before he went to Louisville, he was recruited by one of the coaches at George Mason, is now the head coach of Tulsa. So we hung around for an hour after that game so that we could hang with him for a while. And we did. And a really experienced coach. He's done a great job getting to this point. So we will certainly attend that game tomorrow. Now, Wes, I don't know if the viewers know this. I don't even know if you know this, but for the first time ever on Sunday, the Division III National Championship, the Division II National Championship, and the NIT Championship game are all played back to back to back at Bramlage Arena tomorrow, on Sunday. All three of those games.
Yeah, interesting. I'm looking at the feed where I get all my odds. I see Tulsa and Auburn here. Auburn's laying 4.5 at some places, 5 at some places. That'll be at Gamebridge Fieldhouse, which that's where the Indiana Pacers play, I believe.
Yes, that's down the street from where I'm staying.
Right. Yeah, as you were talking about Indy, they host Super Bowls, they host the Big Ten championships quite a bit, and they do say the infrastructure there is quite fantastic for having big events like that, simply because all the hotels and all the events are just within walking distance. You don't even need to catch Ubers or anything like that.
Yeah, when we went to when we were at the Final Four last year, it was in San Antonio. Very similar. Everything was right around. Next year, it's in Detroit. I don't know what Detroit's like, but the following year, it's going to be in Las Vegas.
Okay.
So your neck of the woods. So that's going to be a great venue to have this tournament. And actually, I think going forward, all these games will be played. These Division III, Division II, Division I on the Sunday before the national championship.
As well they should be. I mean,
yeah.
give them a little platform. Obviously, there's nothing going on Sunday. The tournament, you have the Final Four is always on Saturday, and then the championship game Sunday. Why not sandwich it with some college basketball in the middle, right?
Yeah, and what's so nice, what's so great about this experience, sharing it with my son, obviously, is that I know several Division I coaches here so everyone comes here, like Division II, Division III, assistant coaches, video coordinators, head coaches. Every hotel is packed with NCAA basketball people. And so there's no hotel lobby that you could walk through that doesn't have somebody that is part of the game.
Right.
Yesterday night we spent time with the Tulsa head coach. Today I met my friend Pat Skerry, who is the head coach of Towson, and he worked for Jamie Dixon, who's the head coach of Texas Tech. And so it was me, Jamie Dixon, Skerry, and the head coach of Robert Morris. So we were just shooting the bull, talking about NIL and what it's like to navigate through the NIL process and paying these guys. Like some guys that are averaging 8 points a game that are sort of like not, they're middle of the road or asking for $1 million. And they turn to me because they all know me. They come to Saratoga. We hang out together, and they said, "Whiz, you're in the wrong occupation. You should be an agent. That's where the money is." And so I'm thinking of leaving my business and becoming an agent. No, I'm just kidding. If I was 30 years younger, you could be damn sure. And I was looking for an occupation and knew being in this college basketball arena, I would definitely do it.
Yeah.
So it's really cool, Sniper, to just sit down and talk to these guys just as friends, and you see them on the sidelines. I don't know if you've seen Jamie Dixon.
Yeah, of
but
course.
how intense he is, right?
Yeah.
Pacing back and forth. And we're together and we're just laughing. We're like shooting the breeze. And so I did this morning, ran into a few more coaches. Then I was hungry for lunch, went to Panera Bread, and there's the team that's playing in the national championship Division III. And I'm sitting having lunch with the head coach and just talking about, hey, what's division? This Division III team is like 22-2. And to them to play in Indy on Final Four weekend is such a big deal.
Yeah.
It's such a big deal. And I really enjoy talking to this D3 coach who I never met before, because they're all grinders. They're all dealing with kids, modern day kids. The fact that he could bring a D3 program to the national championship, I applauded him. I just had to go up to him and say, I kind of know what you've gone through. Not really, because I'm not a coach, but I applaud you for just accomplishing this great feat, So being out here is just fantastic. It's just fantastic.
Yeah. TCU, remember in the first round, they beat Ohio State. And then, this would come to do, they lost to Duke 81-58. But yeah, Jamie Dixon, the head coach of TCU, the Horned Frogs, I believe. And, but yeah, no, that's cool. Let me ask you this, Wiz. So obviously these head coaches, they are not allowed to, put any money down on any sporting, or at least not on any college basketball, obviously.
No.
Let me ask you this. Do you guys ever talk horses? You ever give them any horse tips?
We no, today I'm introduced as the Whiz, and some of these coaches that I haven't met. Well, who's the Whiz? Well, he's a professional horse handicapper, and now they're trying to recruit them to Saratoga for their Alabama weekend. We already have 25 people that come up for 2 days, and I hang with them. We bet all day, right? Mick Cronin comes up there. Patino comes up there, right? Then we go to Ciro's and get drunk. So it's the day, it's 2 or 3 days that they look forward to all year long. So to answer your question, part of our conversation today was horses.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so it's so cool. It's so cool. Obviously we're talking NIL and, sports betting, well, any of that, that's a no-no. That's not even talked about. Like that isn't, these guys aren't even thinking that. It's all basketball. But when you can switch to horses, and then you can say, "Hey, Whiz, text me if you got something from Keeneland today." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's,
Yeah.
but it's like I took one of our handicappers, Joey Tron, out to dinner, and he's with me, Jeremy, and Luke Hancock. And Luke was the most valuable player, in the 2013 championship, and Jeremy, coach, and it was like watching Joey was like it was Christmas, like
Yeah.
just to be around these guys. It's really neat. I mean, if you are a basketball junkie or you love the tournament and you love college basketball, this is the mecca, these few days of just meeting everybody. Everyone is here.
Yeah. That's fantastic. I have a legitimate question, actually, when it comes, regarding coaches, betting or whatnot. So obviously, a college coach of a basketball team, they can't bet on college basketball. Obviously, we know that. Are they allowed to bet on the NFL and Major League Baseball and other sports? Is that allowed? I'm legitimately asking. I don't know the answer to that question.
I have no idea that, like, when I'm with them, that's so far from my mind of even. I'm more concerned about who you're thinking of recruiting. Talk about X's and O's. Gambling, anything to do with that is a topic not I have no interest in discussing, and they have no interest in discussing. It's strictly
unless it's
I
about
don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if I would even ask them. I stay. I presume that if I had a guess, I don't see because it's legal if they wanted to play the Super Bowl, I don't see what would be wrong with it, but I don't know. I never asked them that
Yeah, I
question.
got you. Yeah, it's probably best not to bring it up. There's
No.
plenty of other stuff to talk about. I'm sure they're talking your ear off about horses, and you're in turn asking them about NIL. So it's gotta
Yeah.
go back and forth.
They when you talk to these guys, it's all about recruiting, their season. Towson got bounced on a horrible call. If you remember the final
Yeah.
play of the game, the guy got hacked,
Yeah.
and it was. Do you remember that? And then it went
Yeah, I
into
do. I
overtime.
remember.
It was horrible. That's my good friend. I haven't seen him since then. And I said, Pat, look, I got to bring it up. I mean, and he goes, Whiz, he goes, look, you're my friend. I almost put my fist through the TV. You were robbed. And then he just gave me knuckles, like, yeah, man, that was horrible, So uh, look, the tournament is the best sporting event, in my opinion. The NCAA Final Four, which begins tomorrow, is the best best event. It's what everybody should go to once in their life and experience it.
Yeah.
Everywhere you
Yeah.
walk around this town, it's all basketball. I touched the Stanley Cup today. They had the Stanley Cup downtown to just view the
Wow.
NHL. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, so it's really it's really great, and it's starting to get crowded. There's a lot of great restaurants here. They'll be packed tonight. Um, and tomorrow we have the first game is UConn, Illinois, and the nightcap is for uh, many reasons, probably the championship game.
Right.
Michigan, Arizona is as elite a game, final game you could ever come up with that I remember. It's elite, and that game will tip off like about 8:50 or something, close to 9
Right.
Eastern. So you see all the fans from all those teams starting to come to converge on Indy, and everyone wears their team's shirts, right? So every coach and every assistant and every video coordinator and every graduate assistant wears the shirt of their school. The fans wear the shirt of who they're rooting for, who they're part of. All hoops for
Yeah.
4 days. Convention today too, where big time coaches give lectures. Like there'll be a coach talking about inbound plays, about, matchup zone, right? They'll break down, coaches who specializes in something, and you go in and you listen to these big time coaches talk about it. So there's lectures. There's
Awesome.
there's also a lot of networking that goes on.
Yeah, I
So,
bet.
that's Indy. That's Indy, for these next few days.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure you will have a great time, Wiz, at the games tomorrow and on Monday. And but tomorrow there is money to be made on the track. We are going to talk about the Wood Memorial as well as the Bluegrass Stakes for 2026. These are pretty important races in regards to the Kentucky Derby coming up, obviously. With the Wood Memorial, it's New York's premier Kentucky Derby prep. It's 9 furlongs. It is at Aqueduct. The Wood Memorial, they have had 11 winners to go on and capture the Kentucky Derby crown. 4 of whom actually captured the Triple Crown. The most famous loser, though, is the most famous loser in the history of the Wood Memorial. Who do you think that might be?
A loser, a horse that lost?
Lost Wood Memorial, but they went on to have iconic status.
I just tell me.
Secretariat lost the Wood Memorial to his stablemate Angle Light in 1973, and we know what happened with Secretariat after that. So,
okay.
But what are your thoughts on the Wood Memorial? Obviously, we have some good horses here. Napoleon Solo is 7-2. As far as we're doing this video on Friday at 1:30. Right now, it's 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Napoleon Solo is 7-2. Talk to Me, Jimmy, 6-1. We have Steel 7-1. We have some long shots in there. We have Iron Honor 5-2. What are your thoughts, Wiz, on the Wood Memorial?
Well, the Wood Memorial used to be a grade 1. It used to be like a key Derby prep. It's no longer that way. The last few years, the quality of these fields and what comes out of it for the Kentucky Derby are not very good. They downgraded the race to a grade 2. And I wouldn't be surprised if, down the road, it's even a grade 3. So it's not like it used to be. A lot of horses prefer other key Derby preps like the Florida Derby, the Bluegrass, the Arkansas Derby, even the Louisiana Derby. So this race, whoever wins this race isn't winning the Derby. That is a certainty. And so this is a wide open race. Napoleon Solo, you said, is 7-2 morning line. He comes out of the Fountain of Youth. That race was won by Commandment, who came back and won last time. Commandment won the Florida Derby off that race in the Fountain of Youth. Napoleon Solo is a speed horse. He's breaking from the rail. Paco Lopez is on, and Paco Lopez served I think a 6-month suspension. He was allowed to ride in Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken. He's a great rider. He's going to put Napoleon Solo on the lead from the rail, take advantage of that horse's speed. His race 2 back in the Champagne was great. It was a decisive win. But I think he's going to face some pressure on the turn. Napoleon Solo was scratched out of a Derby prep last week for this race. But I'm not too keen on him winning this race, even though I wouldn't be shocked if he did. Some of the contenders in this race are to his outside. Talk to Me, Jimmy, who was an easy winner in the Withers at this distance. And that's important because if you look at this field, only one other horse has won at the distance, and that is Ottenho from the outside. So Talk to Me, Jimmy, having experience winning at the distance by 11 lengths is a big plus. I think the race boils down to that horse, Albus, for Riley Mott, comes off a easy win in a maiden special weight race. This is a step up in class, but he has some upside. Bravaro had excuses as well, had excuses in the Fountain of Youth. I think he improves. Right to Party from McPeak has a chance. This is a tricky race. I just know it's 7-2 Napoleon Solo. I am going to bet against that horse.
Okay.
Um,
Any thoughts on Iron Honor?
Iron Honor. What is the price of Iron Honor?
5-2 or 2.5 to 1.
So Iron Honor. Okay, well, I don't want him from an outside post. As the favorite, he won the Gotham. He's 2 for 2. He has the figures that are faster than anyone in this race. He's never gone 2 turns. His last win was on a wet track in the Gotham. He breaks from a far outside post, which is at a severe disadvantage. I am going to look to bet against him as the favorite for the reasons I just mentioned.
Oh, there you go. And I do want to say once again, and I'll say this at the end of the video as well, but for the Wood Memorial here, if you do buy any sports pick over at wizardsportspicks.com from any handicapper over there, you will get you'll get a betting window highlighted by the Wood Memorial here at Aqueduct. It's a $35 value for free. The Wizard will send that to you himself personally, and you will have you'll have some sharp information on this race. So I would take advantage of that. You go to wizardsportspicks.com. You can buy, it has to be a Saturday game. Okay. So you can buy a Saturday game today. If games are already up, I'll probably have my games up, maybe in a couple hours. And then, you'll get that $35 value for free. So Wiz, let's move on to the Bluegrass Stakes, the 2026 Bluegrass Stakes. This is obviously on Saturday. It's at Keeneland in Lexington, Kentucky, as you were alluding to earlier. It's 1 1/8 mile. It's a 3-year-old race, and it will be on NBC Sports or Peacock, however you want to watch that. It will be at 5:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At least that's what it says here. I'm sure some of these races get delayed sometimes, but 5:48 p.m. Eastern is what it's listed at now. As far as the horses, I won't go over all of them, but the main contenders we have from the number 1 post, we have Talkin at 10 to 1, Class President 7 to 2 out of the number 2 post. The number 4 post at 5 to 2, we have Reagan's Honor. Number 5 post, Creole Chrome at 8 to 1. Number 6 post, Further Ado at 8 to 5. And then we have some other long shots in there. But any of these horses stick out to you, Wiz?
Well, there's a key scratch in this race that came out this morning, and that's the number 2 Class President. He is out of the race. That horse would have attracted a lot of money, would have probably been like 3 to 1, 5 to 2. So that changes the way the setup of the race is going to occur. With Class President out of the race, the favorite will go to the 6 Further Ado, who will be in the vicinity of 6 to 5. He just got beat in the Tampa Bay Derby by the Puma, and the Puma came back and was narrowly defeated in the Florida Derby. Just got beat by Commandment at the wire. So that bodes well for Further Ado's chances. He's trained by Brad Cox, who was the trainer, ironically, of Commandment, who beat the Puma last time out. So Further Ado is definitely a major player here. He's tactical. He moves in 1 post and 5. And Irad Ortiz, who was aboard Renegade, who will be his Derby mount, winner of the Arkansas Derby last Saturday. Irad will be on Further Ado. Irad has ridden Further Ado 3 straight times. He will be the favorite, and to me, he is the horse to beat. Reagan's Honor, going for 3 straight. He will be on or near the lead. The 8 Moonstrosity, a 30 to 1 morning line hopeless long shot, who scratched out of a maiden special weight race last Saturday at Gulfstream in favor of this, which I don't understand because he has 0 chance. He hasn't even had a win, but he is going to be a pace factor. So he's going to know, he knows one way, and that's to go out to the lead. The pace will be fast. So I expect Reagan's Honor and his rider, Jose Ortiz, the brother of Irad, to set a stalking trip, which he has not done in his 2 wins. Both those wins were on the front end, so he's going to have to show a different running style. So I think that could make him vulnerable, stretching out to 1.125 miles. That is why I prefer Further Ado. I think an interesting long shot here is the number 1 Talkin, who will be in the 8-1 to 10-1 area. He broke his maiden first time out, then was a good second in the Champagne to Napoleon Solo, who we talked about at Aqueduct in the Wood. Napoleon Solo freaked on the lead that day on a speed favoring track. Talkin rallied to be a well-beaten second, but it was a better than looks effort, considering he was coming off just a maiden win. Then they threw him to the Wolves in the Remsen, and he broke from post 11, was hung out wide to dry. His rider wrapped up on him, so I'm willing to toss that race out. He returned off a 3-month layoff on March 7th in the Tampa Bay Derby. He was beaten 5 lengths, but he needed that race. He chased a fast pace in that race, and he tired slowly in the final 1/8 of a mile. I think he improves in this spot. I don't know how good he is. I don't really know how much he's progressed from 2 to 3, but that is the question that you have to ask a lot of these 3-year-olds this time of year. But he breaks from the rail. I like the fact that Joel Rosario, who rode him in the Tampa Bay Derby, has the confidence in him to ride this colt back. I'm not saying Talkin is going to beat Further Ado, but I do not suggest betting Further Ado over Reagan's Honor, a 6-5 over an 8-5, because there's no value whatsoever. If those are your picks, just keep your hands in the pocket and look for something better, like betting on the NCAA Final Four. Talkin is the price play of the two, of those two major contenders. So I might play around depending on the odds with Talkin. But again, this is a grade 1 race, unlike the Wood Memorial, that's grade 2, but it is not a strong grade 1 race. And I'm not sure that the winner of this race will win the Kentucky Derby. I just think this is a weak rendition of the Toyota Bluegrass.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You have some sharp breakdowns of both these races. Where do you go for your odds as far as the horse racing odds or lines? Do you just go to TVG, or because I'm trying to find updated odds without the number 2 for the class prep?
You won't see updated odds because the odds that you see today at the ADW wagering outlets are because you have Naira Bets, you can bet, Express Bet, which is owned by Magna. That's a big operation. So the odds that you see today are for today's races. Now, that will change with the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks because there is advanced wagering on those races. So
Gotcha.
On a Friday, you will be able to see some money trickle into the pools for those those two events, but not a race like the Bluegrass or Wood. You will have to see those odds at those wagering platforms tomorrow. Betting will open maybe 2 or 3 hours before first post, but you won't see those odds today.
Well, I'm curious then, how do I have these odds? Like, how did certain websites have the odds that I
They're morning line odds. They're morning line odds that are made a couple days before the race by a person that is hired called the linesmaker. His job is to handicap these races and come up with a fair line. It's mathematical what it has to add up to in the end, but a good linesman it's an art. It's I don't know who makes the lineup for Keeneland, But I do know who does it for NYRA, for the New York Racing Association. His name is David Aragona, and he's an excellent linesman. He's does his work. You have to know the horses. Brad Thomas is a great linesman. He does the line for Monmouth Racetrack. So it's it's a specialty. It's like the line people that are hired to do the lines for sports, right?
Yeah.
You have your own linesman in the Wizard for NCAA basketball.
Right.
I'm about 90. What am I? 95% accurate, Wes?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Even you who are not easily acknowledge the expertise of somebody, you acknowledge that you're pretty surprised I can come that close.
Yeah, it's definitely an art form for sure. Well, that makes sense then why class president was still here on that list. I was wondering why he was even still on the list. And then I did look at I forget where I got them. I think I got these odds from CBS Sports or something. And before a class president was scratched. So, you learn something new every day. I didn't even know that. So you taught me something new today about the ponies. So that's very good.
Well, it's just you don't know the horse racing that well. And obviously you did a great job setting me up to discuss these races. But I'm here today I'll watch Keeneland. I don't have much else to do. I have to finish up my Keeneland card for tomorrow, but I will be at the Final Four, and the lines are the same. Nothing has really moved. Illinois is about a 2-point favorite over UConn, and the Michigan Wolverines still remain about a 1.5 over Arizona. I don't see any movement whatsoever, really. Have you?
No. Well, I did see Illinois go up to 2.5 at a couple books, but that's come back down. There's no 2.5s anymore. There's only 2s. And it could be because Danny Hurley's. I guess every team that goes to the Final Four, every member of every squad and the coaching staff, they all get a very nice watch if you go to the Final Four. But Danny Hurley got up on the podium and he said, "We ain't here for watches. We're here for rings." So maybe everybody heard that. They're like, "Oh, we better bet Connecticut real quick."
Yeah. I'll tell you, it's so fun. This is really funny. This is funny, Wes. You'll like this. So after the Tulsa game, I'm watching the players come out to go back on the bus to their hotel an hour after the game. We're waiting for the Tulsa coach.
Right.
Every one of the players have this big necklace with their number, like in diamonds, right? Like huge necklaces. It's almost like they could weigh 20 pounds. They're that thick, the chains, right? And I never remember kids wearing these things, but and obviously they're all fake, right? They're all fake. Okay. But Luke was telling me about, I don't know who it was, but it was this great NBA basketball player. Great. Like maybe it wasn't Michael Jordan, but it was some tremendous, I forget who he was referring to, but he said this guy was the first that had the big Rolex, the big chains and everything. And then Luke said, but everything was fake. The Rolex was fake. The chains were fake. Now he had millions and millions of dollars. And I said to Luke, well, why were they fake? He's got so much. These kids don't have that much money. They're not going to have diamonds over their neck. But this pro player could. And he said, well, the guy goes, why? It looks the same. It's going to get stolen anyway. Let them steal something that's fake. And let them steal my fake Rolex.
That's great.
As far as betting the game, Michigan, Arizona. I mean, look, whoever adapts to an 80,000 people facility comes with their A game. You can make a case for both teams. Like I've watched both teams. They're elite. They're the right. I would have loved this to be the final, but it's not. So any one of those two teams could win. You can make a case for either one. The UConn game, I think that's, you can make a case as well for both teams. I favor a team, but I don't want to talk about that because I am too close to, I just don't want to talk about who I like. But I could see both sides, right? I mean, you have the history of UConn and what Hurley has done. You have experience with seniors. It was Caravan's 4-year maturity that made him pass that ball up, give that ball away for the shot that won the game. You have experience. You have Terrence Reed, who has become a monster. He needs to have a great game and stay out of foul trouble. They have the team to, Hurley is a great motivator. Then you have Illinois that has some experienced, savvy players. Brad Underwood is great himself. These guys, even though they're freshmen and sophomores, some of them, they played on pro teams overseas. Not in the big, the 80,000 people in the big moment. I don't think it's going to affect them that much. So both tremendous games, tremendous.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it. And the Whiz will be there. You never know, if you're somewhere there in Indy, you might walk up right next to him and give him some knuckles. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another edition of the Wizards Crystal Ball. We try to do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with the Whiz. We might not do it as much just because college basketball's, winding down. Maybe if there's horse races, each weekend, we'll probably break down the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness and the Belmont and maybe some other horses as well. But we will have a lot of content coming at you very, very soon. We're going to have daily videos. We might even be doing a daily live show. So a lot of content coming at you from the social media side. As far as the website, once again, if you buy any sports pick from the site for Saturday's games, okay, whether you buy it today or tomorrow, you will get a free Aqueduct betting window highlighted by Wood Memorial, which we did discuss today, but there's going to be a lot of other sharp information regarding that race.
And every race. And bets on every race. There's, I think the card is 11. There's 12 races, so there's wagering strategies for every race, 3 best bets, pick 4. It's all in that betting window for $35 value for free. And I'll personally send it to you and update it after late scratches, so you have the most complete package that you can have to potentially have a winning day.
And that is at wizardsportspicks.com. Just purchase any pick from any handicapper over there for Saturday's game, and you will get that betting window from the Whiz. All right, Whiz, any thoughts on the way out?
No, I'm going to watch racing now and, the Keeneland card, finish my work. And I'm very fortunate to be here with my son and have this, this bonding. I don't see him much, but he's out at the convention. But I go to the games with him, and, I love basketball. It's his profession. No better way to enjoy your son. It's lasting memories, and, it's doing what we both love to do.
Absolutely. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We will probably do a show on Monday regarding the betting competition and see whoever's left. That should be a lot of fun. Monday, probably around the same time, maybe 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we might do a little show to wrap that up. And until then, we hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and a very profitable weekend as well. And we will see you next time. Peace out and keep firing.